Hello, everyone, and good morning. Just a moment, I'm making sure we have the correct microphone. Good morning, everyone. I hope that you're doing well. Thank you again for joining us. Today is this Saturday, December 9th. How is the weather where you're at? Here, yesterday we had a very unusually warm day. Sometimes with the changing of the seasons, and then you have a little bit of warmth in the middle, it can cause us to be a little bit imbalanced because our body is just getting used to change in the cold. So it's very unusual. We had a very mild day yesterday, and today still it seems to be a little bit mild. Let's go ahead and check in and see how we're feeling today with our mind. Sometimes we have some thoughts, we hold on to things, make them, ruminate, as they say. Sometimes when we wake up in the morning, we have some anxiety, perhaps, or some nervousness, etc. But again, the practice that we're cultivating here is to simply observe. Simply observe. It's interesting when you have a mind of observation. You're able to take a moment and refocus yourself onto your situation, your life. Well, a lot of times I feel it's like this camera that we're using for this recording. Sometimes it can be a little bit out of focus and cause the story or the picture to be a little blurry. But mindfulness allows us to refocus that lens um, towards what is real and to see and take in information that we can then process properly. I think a lot of times, as I have stated before, what we may consider negative emotions such as anger, anxiety, are simply devices built into our natures that allow us to know that there's some issue or some, I say, challenge that needs to be looked at. Okay, so therefore, mindfulness is very essential in being able to have a proper way of looking at it without immediately falling into judgment or interpretation, which, as we know, that can cause us to become to go onto a tangent, imagine things that aren't real, add more internal dialogue where there is none necessary, just simple observation. And this can, of course, increase our anxiety and then other emotions that perhaps will take us from a stable mind to a unstable mind. Okay? So first, let's prepare our body a little bit. We'll turn to the left, to the right, arms backwards, or forward. What I do then is with my right hand, I'll grab my left knee and make my turn a little deeper. Breathe in and exhale, other side. Now let us do our neck here. Again, I'm just letting my head naturally move. There's a kind of relaxation that goes along with this release. Now I'm going at an angle with my leg. Other side, my leg knee, this angle. Okay, now I'm going to go in a circle again. I'm moving my body, allowing my head to remove and swivel, breathing naturally. Other way. Picking up our shoulders, hands drop in. Good. Okay, let's just do a quick scan of our body, where we are, what is our state of our mind at this time. We have a clearness of mind, perhaps we have some tension. Let's relax that. If you feel any tension in your face, relax that. Any tension in your body, relax. Just focus on it and let it relax. How are your emotions? How does your body feel towards your environment? Does it feel cold? Does it feel warm? Does it feel stable? Neither cold nor warm. Now that we've taken frame of reference, let us now prepare for a meditation. Let's do 3 breaths. Breathing in through our nose, exhaling through our mouth for 3 rounds. Let's begin. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Round 2. Round 3. And let us prepare our body, putting our hands together in Okai Joli, close to our body, putting our shoulders back, our ears over our shoulders. We can again move our head slightly with the chin tucking in. This is one way that they do it. Close your teeth gently together, putting your tongue into the roof of your mouth, gently closing your eyes, just enough to keep the light out. It's important that we don't have any tenseness in our face or our positions. This simply allows us to allow the prana or energy to come in and out of our mouth. So now let us begin breathing through our nose, exhaling and inhaling, allowing our mind to melt into concentration by the sound of the bell. So you hear the bell, let us release our concentration, come back to our bodies, mind. Start to feel our bodies again, becoming aware of ourselves and the environment. Let's take another scan of our body. How does our mind feel? And without judgment, just simply observing the body. And move our fingers, becoming more and more aware of our body. Rubbing our hands together, place them over our eyes. Thank you very much for practicing together. Today I wanted to talk about, as we continue yesterday we talked about practical steps in our practice of meditation. Beginning practitioners or meditators, as we spoke of before, we setting a time and a place for consistent practice are necessary, but a lot of times beginning meditators often take or forget to take into consideration their mental energy and clarity when picking a time or a place to practice. It's very important to choose when you tend to be least agitated or tired. Everyone has their own natural cycle and rhythms, but generally the best time is in the early morning, or at least before 1 p.m. As we can see, our bodies naturally start to move, become more energized, especially in the afternoon. Then usually we have a decline in the later afternoons, so we become more tired. In the morning, there is a particular time, actually earlier morning, that is the ideal time. We call Brahma Murta, which is the time of Brahma. Brahma would be the god of creation in the Vedic tradition and in Buddhism. That during that time, which is about 3:30 to about 5:30, or depending on the season, about an hour and a half before sunrise, that is considered the ideal time for meditation and yoga. The reason why is because the world has not yet moved, not yet started. So that is a quiet time. Again, quiet, I say quiescence, but quiet is very important. That's why we pick a sacred area that we prepare. And then also, according to these teachings, specific times during the day are more opportune to increase or improve your practice. And these teachings are passed down from our instructors, and the earlier in the morning, the better, because again, when you may feel it, when people wake up, the energy changes. Things start to become motion. The universe is the same as we go through the cycle of sleep and wakefulness, etc. Most people prefer a period shortly after waking up in the morning, but before breakfast, since it's best to avoid meditating right after a meal, because a meal, of course, induces sleepiness and also heaviness, and also some discomfort in the body. So that is why I stated in the Yoga Sastras or Sutra that this time of Brahma Murta, or in the morning before people start to move in your household, as a way of preparation. We give our prayers, our practice, our offerings to the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and deities and ancestors in the morning. As a very standard tradition in Buddhism, perhaps in other faiths as well, uh, that we have this time to reflect and prepare ourselves for the day. Next, it's best. Next best is late afternoon or early evening. Early mid afternoon is often the hardest because again, meditation is a stability. How do you say it? Creating stability and awareness in our body. So our body hasn't yet ramped up, and that's also why we do meditation before we do our yogic practice. So even though meditation is a type of yoga, okay, jhana yoga, or concentration yoga. Um, it's very important, but then also we prepare our body. And in the evening, also, as we know, we do our evening gongyo or prayer, and each tradition again has their own, but I believe that that should be supported with meditation, at least a short meditation if possible. Um, And so this is again just a little deeper about creating practical steps for your practice. Okay, so it's very difficult if you don't have a place that is prepared for meditation. Having at least a cushion to sit down, a place with some sacred uh, cleanliness, purity, incense, your uh, focus of reverence, etc. Very important that we inspire this in our lives, because this is again stabilizing, preparing ourselves in this mindset that will carry us throughout our day, and that our day will then become a supportive element rather than a negative or suffering element towards our liberation. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please take care.